Hi, and welcome to another flipped classroom video. Tonight we're going to learn about the distributive property. If you're thinking, hey, I already know about the distributive property, don't worry. We're going to review what we already learned and then use the distributive property to multiply bigger numbers. Let's review. When I use the distributive property, I can take one of my factors and break it into two nicer numbers to multiply. So I'm going to break 7 into 5 plus 2. So now I can multiply 5 times 9 and 2 times 9. 5 times 9 is 45, and 2 times 9 is 18. When I add my two products back together, I get 63. Remember, when I break the numbers apart, I have to put them back together. Now you try. I want you to pause the video so that you can solve 8 times 6 using the distributive property. Go ahead. You might have decided to multiply 8 times 6 by breaking apart 8 into two friendly numbers. Or maybe you multiplied 8 times 6 and broke 6 apart into two friendly numbers. When I multiplied, I broke 6 to be 8 times 5 and 8 times 1. 8 times 5 is 40 and 8 times 1 is 8. When I add my products back together, 8 times 6 is 48. Now, here's where the fun begins. How can the distributive property help us solve problems with larger numbers? We already know that 13 is a 10 and 3 ones. So now I can use that to help me multiply. When I want to multiply 3 times 13, I'm thinking about that 13 as a 10 and 3 ones. But now I have three groups of 10 and 3 ones. So here we go. When I look at this, I can see it as 3 times 10 and 3 times 3. So 3 times 10 we know is 30 because multiplying by 10 is like multiplying by 1. And 3 times 3 is 9. Then I can add them back together. 30 plus 9 is 39, which makes sense. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Let's try another one. 4 times 16. Remember that 16 is a 10 and 6 ones. So 10 plus 6. So now I can multiply 4 times 10 and 4 times 6. 4 times 10, again, is like multiplying times 1. So 4 times 10, 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 6 might be a fact I don't have memorized, so you can always make an array. 4 times 6 would be 4 rows of 6. When I count them back, 4 times 6 is 24, and I can put my problem back together now. 40 plus 24 equals 64. 4 times 16 is 64. This time, our problem looks a little bit different. I don't see the multiplication symbol that I'm used to seeing. But don't worry, these parentheses are another way of showing multiplication. We need to multiply 5 times 14. I can break that 14 into 10 and 4. So 5 times 10 and 5 times 4. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 4 is 20. And when I add 50 plus 20 to put it back together, I get 70. So 5 times 14 equals 70. Last one. This time we have another way of showing multiplication. Sometimes you might see just a dot that's representing a multiplication symbol. So we're going to multiply 3 times 17. This time I'm going to have you solve it by yourself. This will be the problem that you use to solve on your Google Doc. Remember, I want you to show your work, so I want you to show how you use the distributive property, looking for tens and ones. Good night.